The Steam Wishlist chart is the best place to find hidden gaming gems that nobody knows about, or potentially the next PAL world before anybody else has even heard of it. Every Thursday at 6 PM, we break down what new games are worth keeping an eye on based on the most wishlisted games on Steam. Steam Next Fest ended this week, but it allowed millions of gamers the chance to try a bunch of free game demos from some highly anticipated games. This no doubt shook up the wishlist chart quite a bit. This week we've got some great new entries to the Steam wishlist chart with some real-time strategy, a horror shooter, and a first-person dungeon crawler. But let's start with a sci-fi open-world farming adventure. A new entry at 85 on this Steam wishlist chart, Lightyear Frontier has a demo out you can play right now, while it's in early access before its release on March 19th. Embark on an interstellar escapade to a whimsical alien realm with the ultimate chillaxing open-world farming escapade. Dive into this serene universe where you'll be zipping around in mechs, tending to outlandish crops and uncovering the mysteries of a far-off planet, all while chilling with up to 3 pals. Turn your crop haul into nifty building materials and construct a spiffy exo farm that would make Marie Kondo jealous. Deck it out with vibrant hues and pimp out your trusty mech with a slew of gadgets and gizmos. Zip around in your versatile mech around a ginormous open world, bursting with all sorts of funky landscapes. Every nook and cranny hides special goodies and mysteries just waiting for you to stumble upon. Lightyear Frontier is the ultimate chill pill. No need to stress about hunger, thirst, or danger here. Whether you're craving a laid-back farming escapade, a chill exploration jaunt, or a collaborative world to share with your buddies, Lightyear Frontier is already a PC gamer favourite due to its well-oiled and approachable open world. Another new entry at 71 is the #1 game demo played in this year's Steam Next Fest, with a peak of more than 17,000 concurrent players called Dungeonborne. It thrusts you headfirst into an electrifying first-person PvPvE dungeon romp. Whether you're flying solo or teaming up with your trusty sidekicks, it's all about bagging loot, braving sinister dungeons, and duking it out with fearsome monsters and crafty foes. Just make sure to beat a hasty retreat before your own greed swallows you whole. Just one more bit of loot couldn't hurt, right? Take on the mantle of fighter, priest, rogue, swordmaster, pyromancer, cryomancer, or the coolest sounding class I've heard in a wee while, Death Knight. With crystal clear first-person visuals, you'll feel the oomph of each spell, the weight of your weapons, and the strategic gravity of every choice. Dungeonborne seamlessly blends the adrenaline rush of first-person action with the tactical depth of RPG gameplay for an experience like no other. Engage in a black swan ballet of death, with 10 distinct weapon pairings that deliver a fluid combat experience. Parry, block, and counter in a showdown where skill reigns supreme. Unearth gear that have randomized perks and corruptions to keep your build as different as a skeleton wearing a bikini. Power up your equipment with gem slots, trade goodies in a hassle-free auction house, and chase down over 40 legendary and one-of-a-kind items with game-changing effects to craft your ultimate build. And finally, you can dive into the fray with a cutthroat 3 vs 3 arena to challenge your fellow adventurers and add a little extra spice to your dungeon crawling escapades. Up 7 places to 39 on the wishlist is Stormgate, that has an open beta playtest right now for you to jump into. Do you love the thrill of a battle playing out in real time, honing your strategy on the fly as new enemies pop out of nowhere? Well, Stormgate is crafted by the brains behind StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3. This game flawlessly mixes classic RTS gameplay with all new shiny bells and whistles. Step into a dazzling science fantasy realm where humanity's exiles duke it out with the hellish infernals for control of Earth's destiny, now with chickens thrown into the mix as well. Team up with your pals in 3-player co-op mode, and if you're a bit strapped for cash, it won't cost you a dime to dive in. Stormgate is a rebirth of the RTS genre that'll have you commanding, conquering, and building your way to victory in no time. The storm is brewing, my friends. Are you ready to weather it? Now let's look at the top 20 games people have on their wish lists. Here are the big hitters you need to check out. Kicking things off at number 20, we've got Carlson, holding steady like your grandma's old rocking chair. No moving here, folks. Next up at 19, it's Infection Free Zone, staying cool as a cucumber. No change in the infection position. Now sliding down one at 18, we've got Rooted, that's not very rooted. At number 17, Light No Fire has lit up enough people's imagination to jump up one spot. This fantasy adventure building survival game is made by the makers of No Man's Sky. Hello Games is trying to create a multiplayer Earth, a space that's large enough to conceivably accommodate the billions of people that currently inhabit our planet. The oceans on this literal open world are as dark and as deep as our own, the mountains taller and more imposing, and the traversable space is just as wide and varied. You've played in open worlds before, but nothing quite like this. Literally hundreds of millions of square miles of space that you'll be able to explore, discover, and build upon with your friends. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds pretty darn ambitious, and yeah, it is, but considering the journey that No Man's Sky has been on, I'd say it's worth keeping an eye on. Who knows? Light No Fire might just set the gaming world ablaze. Moving on to 16, we've got Once Human, and like an alien horror that you've just smoked with your pistol, it ain't moving anywhere. It's a mix of Control, Days Gone, Death Stranding, and DayZ. Now, how do you survive this multiplayer open-world survival love crafty and nightmare fuel of a game? Well, with guns, obviously, friends, yep, and metahuman powers to help smack the snot out of anything that dares to peep its giant head out of the darkness. From pesky monsters to a severe lack of snacks, you're in for a wild ride. And it's not just the critters you've got to worry about, it's the basics. Like, you got to keep an eye on the soil, the water, heck, even what you're shoving in your pie hole. Because let me tell you, chowing down on polluted grub or guzzling dirty water ain't gonna do wonders for your mental state. There's literally a mechanic in this where your sanity in the game can take a hit if you drink dirty or contaminated water or food. And when that drops, so does your max HP. You've got tough choices here. To munch or not to munch? That is the question, and I think I just heard Shakespeare roll over in his grave. But fear not, my friend, because in this game, you've got options. You can snag yourself a territory core and start building your very own pad. Want to keep it cozy? Stuff everything you need into a snug little room. Or if you're feeling fancy, design yourself a swanky townhouse with all the bells and whistles, a patio, a kitchen, heck, even a garage to keep your motorbike dry. And the best part, you can move your digs whenever you fancy a change of scenery. Why don't houses in the real world do this? Oh yeah, camper vans. Anyway, get out there and make your mark. Just try not to leave too many enemies in your wake, especially not this young blind girl with butterfly wings. She scares me more than anything else I've seen about this game. Breaking into the top 15, it's Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition, sitting pretty like a boss in a post-apocalyptic paradise. Jumping to number 14, we've got Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, standing strong amidst the chaos of battle. Space Marine 2 throws players back into the thick in the action as Titus, now demoted from captain to lieutenant because of all the naughty things you did in the first game. Oh, I should smack your bottom, Titus, but there's not enough time for that, as there's a massive Tyranid hive fleet that's invaded Imperial space, giving Titus ample opportunity to prove his loyalty to the Ultramarine chapter, and I'm sure quickly get a promotion back to El Capitan. Just like the original Space Marine 2 is a third-person action game, blending ranged and melee attacks, but here's the twist. Titus is now a Primus Space Marine, which means packing even more power to carve through Tyranid swarms. In fact, the game's main feature is battling those writhing alien masses. Plus, executing enemies replenishes Titus's armor, encouraging aggressive combat akin to the recent Doom reboots. And you won't be alone in the fight. Titus is joined by 2 fellow Ultramarines that your friends can jump in and take control of in 3-player co-op, delivering a truly immersive battle against the enemies of the Imperium. So get ready to suit up and dive headfirst into the chaos of Space Marine 2. At lucky number 13, it's Blight Survival, taking a slight tumble down too. Maybe it's time to shine a little brighter next time, Blight. At number 12, Unrecord makes its mark and stays there. Crashing down at 11, it's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, losing a bit of its bite, but don't count these fangs out just yet. Breaking into the top 10, we've got Dragon's Dogma 2, soaring up 3 spots to pluck your heart out. The sequel, releasing on March 22nd, 2024, thrusts you into a sprawling fantasy realm brimming with peril and wonder, where you slay monsters, climb colossal creatures like you're auditioning for a giant's back massage, and command a squad of AI companions who are either your best buds or the biggest trolls in your gaming life. With bigger battles, badder beasts, and more breathtaking landscapes than you can shake a stick at, this game is like Skyrim meets Shadow of the Colossus, doing a collab game on next-gen hardware. Get ready to lose yourself in a world where every encounter feels like a boss battle, every choice shapes your destiny, and every step forward is a leap into the unknown. Dragon's Dogma 2, prepared to be obsessed again. Sitting at number 9, The First Descendant stands out as a firm non-mover. At number 8, Nightingale sings its sweet melody, undisturbed by the winds of change. And at 7, Arc 2 roars into action. Claiming the 6th spot, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl radiates with anticipation. And at number 5, Frostpunk 2. The Frosty City Builder sequel will debut on Xbox Game Pass alongside its release on Xbox Series X and S and PC. A fresh video recently provides a sneak peek at the gameplay, featuring the player grappling with escalating tensions within the city. In the top 4, Black Myth Wukong swings into action, ready to unleash its monkey might upon the gaming world. Sitting pretty at number 3, Hollow Knight Silksong weaves its intricate web of anticipation, ready to ensnare players in its charms. And breaking into the top 2, Manor Lords claims its rightful place in the gaming hierarchy with grace and strategy. And at number 1, it's the reigning champion, Hades 2, holding its ground like a Greek god. Now, who's ready for another round in the underworld? A lot of people, it turns out, as the early access release gets closer and closer at some point in Q2 2024. The sequel will be available simultaneously for Steam and the Epic Games Store, but exact dates are yet to be revealed, so sit tight as we will let you know on the Steam wishlist countdown as soon as the date is 100% confirmed. And there you have it, folks, the Steam wishlist countdown, where dreams rise, fall, and stay steady like a gamer's heartbeat, trying to nail that cross-map sniper shot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on Thursday at 6 PM for another Steam chart show.